C. Hiring a fake boyfriend to make your ex jealous? Stupid, but manageable. Finding out that fake boyfriend is actually a Korean Mafia boss who now thinks you belong to him? That's a whole different level of insane. And when Marcus, my cheating, lying ex, decided to hire actual criminals to terrorize me into coming back to him, things went from complicated to deadly. Real fast. Because now there's a price on my head. I'm living in a penthouse with a man who can end careers with one phone call. And the scariest part? I think I'm falling for him. But here's what you need to know before we get into this absolute chaos of a story. My mom told me this video would never hit 1,000 views. She said, "Maya, nobody wants to hear about your drama. So I need your help to prove her wrong. Hit that subscribe button right now. It's free, it takes 2 seconds, and it'll make my mom eat her words. Drop a like if you've ever made a questionable decision for petty revenge. And comment below where you're watching from. I want to see how far this story spreads. Are you team run away from the mafia boss or team marry him immediately? Let me know. Because by the end of this story, you'll understand why I chose what I chose. Why sometimes the most dangerous option is also the most irresistible. And why fake dating a Korean mafia boss might just be the best worst idea I've ever had. Oh, and that charity gala I mentioned? Let's just say it ends with a gun, a kiss, and a decision that changes everything. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's start from the beginning, with Marcus, Stephanie, and the engagement party that ruined my life. Or saved it. I still haven't decided. The champagne flute shattered against the marble floor 3 seconds before my ex-boyfriend announced his engagement to my former best friend. To love. Marcus raised his glass, his arm wrapped around Stephanie's waist like a python squeezing its prey. And to my beautiful fiancée. I stood frozen in the middle of the engagement party I'd been tricked into attending, wearing a dress I'd stress-bought with money I didn't have, surrounded by people who were definitely filming my reaction for their Instagram stories. This was fine. Everything was fine. Congratulations, I managed, my customer service smile so tight I could feel my molars cracking. I'm so happy for you both. Stephanie had the audacity to look sympathetic. Maya, sweetie, I know this must be hard for you. Hard? Why would this be hard? I laughed, a sound that came out slightly unhinged. You two are perfect together. Really. The lying, the cheating, the complete betrayal of trust, it's like a fairy tale. Marcus's jaw tightened. Maya, don't make a scene. A scene? Me. I gestured dramatically, accidentally knocking into a waiter carrying canapes. Tiny quiches scattered across the floor like my dignity. I would never. That's when I saw him. Tall, devastating, and wearing a suit that probably cost more than my car. He stood near the bar with the kind of presence that made everyone else look like background extras in their own lives. Sharp jawline, dark hair swept back, and eyes that could probably see through walls, or at least through my bullshit bravado. He was staring directly at me. Our eyes met, and something electric shot through my chest. His lips quirked up in the smallest smile, like he was amused by my public humiliation. Great. Even gorgeous strangers were laughing at me. You know what? I announced loudly, addressing the crowd. I actually can't stay. My boyfriend is waiting for me. My very real, very attractive boyfriend who definitely exists and loves me very much. Stephanie's perfectly microbladed eyebrows rose. You have a boyfriend? Yes. The lie tumbled out before I could stop it. He's Korean. And very successful. In business. International business. What kind of business? Marcus asked skeptically. Important business, I said firmly. Importing and exporting things. Marcus smirked. Right. Sure he is. That smirk. That goddamn superior smirk that had driven me crazy for 3 years. Actually, a deep voice said behind me, she's telling the truth. I turned to find Mr. Devastatingly Handsome standing so close I could smell his cologne. Something expensive and dangerous, like cedar wood and bad decisions. Jagiya, he said smoothly, using a Korean term of endearment that made my heart do a weird flip. Sorry, I'm late. My brain short-circuited. What you? He wrapped an arm around my waist, pulling me against his side. The warmth of his body seeped through my dress, and I forgot how to breathe like a normal human person. You must be Marcus, he said, extending his free hand. I've heard absolutely nothing about you. I choked on air. Marcus's smile faltered as he shook hands, and I watched with satisfaction as he winced slightly at the grip. And you are? Stephanie asked, her tone syrupy sweet but her eyes calculating. Doyun Kang, he said simply. Maya's boyfriend. The name sent a ripple through the crowd. Several people pulled out their phones immediately, whispering to each other. I noticed a few faces go pale. Well, we should get going, Doyun continued, his hand sliding to the small of my back in a gesture that felt both possessive and protective. We have dinner reservations. We do. I squeaked. We do, he confirmed, looking down at me with eyes so dark they were almost black. Remember? Right. Yes. Our dinner. That we planned. Together. As a couple who definitely knows each other. I was nailing this. He guided me toward the exit, and I could feel dozens of eyes boring into my back. Just before we left, I glanced over my shoulder to see Marcus's face twisted in confusion and something that looked suspiciously like jealousy. Victory tasted sweet. The moment we were outside in the cool evening air, I whirled on my fake boyfriend. Okay, who are you and why did you just rescue me from the most humiliating moment of my life? Doyun leaned against a sleek black car that probably cost more than my entire apartment building. You looked like you needed help. So you just jumped in? Pretended to be my boyfriend? Used a Korean endearment that made half the room look like they'd seen a ghost. Yes. Why? His smile was slow and predatory. You seemed interesting. Interesting. I crossed my arms. That's your explanation? I seemed interesting. You threw a champagne glass, insulted your ex, lied about having a boyfriend, and then committed to the bit so hard you invented an entire fake relationship in 30 seconds. He pushed off the car, moving closer. That's either interesting or insane. I'm hoping for interesting. I should have been scared. A strange man claiming to be my boyfriend, a car that screamed money and danger, the way people had reacted to his name like he was someone important, or dangerous. Instead, I was intrigued. So what now? I asked. We just pretend that didn't happen and go our separate ways? We could, Doyun said slowly. Or you could actually have dinner with me. My heart hammered against my ribs. You're serious. I'm always serious, Jagiya. There it was again. That word that sounded like honey and sin. I don't even know you, I protested weakly. You didn't know me 5 minutes ago either, and you let me claim you in front of 50 people. He opened the car door. What's one dinner? Every logical cell in my brain screamed that this was a terrible idea. Strange man. Expensive car. The way people had whispered his name like he was someone to fear. But I was still running on adrenaline and champagne and the high of seeing Marcus's face when this gorgeous man called me Jagiya. Fine, I said, sliding into the car. One dinner. But if you're a serial killer, I'm going to be very disappointed. Doyun's laugh was low and rich as he closed the door. I promise I'm much more interesting than a serial killer. As we pulled away from the curb, I caught a glimpse of Marcus and Stephanie watching from the window, their faces pressed against the glass. I should have felt guilty about the lie. Instead, I felt alive. Doyun glanced at me, his hand resting casually on the gear shift. You never asked what kind of business I'm in. You never told me why people looked terrified when they heard your name. Would you believe me if I said I was in imports and exports? I snorted. That's literally what I said about my fake boyfriend. Then I suppose we're both liars. The car's interior suddenly felt smaller, more intimate. Dangerous in a way that had nothing to do with fear and everything to do with the way he looked at me. Like I was a puzzle he wanted to solve, or a prize he'd already decided to claim. So what's the truth? I asked. Doyun smiled, and it was the smile of a predator who'd found something worth hunting. The truth, Maya, is much more complicated than you're ready for. His phone buzzed. He glanced at it, and for just a second, his expression went cold. The kind of cold that reminded me I'd just gotten into a car with a complete stranger whose name made people go pale. Change of plans, he said softly. We're not going to dinner. My stomach dropped. What? He looked at me, and I saw something flicker in his eyes. Regret? Warning? Someone just put a price on your head. I'm sorry, did you just say someone put a price on my head? I stared at Doyun like he'd grown a second face. Like, an actual bounty? On me? Maya Chun, part-time graphic designer who still uses a student discount even though I graduated 3 years ago. Doyun's jaw was tight as he navigated through Seoul's nighttime traffic with the precision of someone who'd done this 1,000 times. It's not about you specifically. It's about me. Oh, well, that makes me feel so much better, I said, my voice climbing an octave. I'm collateral damage in whatever sketchy business you're running. Fantastic. This is exactly how I pictured my evening going. I'm not running sketchy business. You literally said you're in imports and exports. I am. That's code for illegal shit. Everyone knows that. I fumbled for the door handle. Let me out. I'll take my chances with Marcus's pity and Stephanie's fake sympathy. Doyun's hand shot out, gently but firmly catching my wrist. The touch sent electricity racing up my arm, which was extremely inconvenient given the whole price on my head situation. Maya, listen to me. His voice was calm, controlled. When I claimed you as mine back there, certain people took notice. People who want to hurt me will now want to hurt you. But I can protect you. By kidnapping me? By taking you somewhere safe while I handle this. He glanced at me, and something in his expression softened. I know this is insane. I know you have no reason to trust me. But right now you have 2 choices. Come with me to my penthouse where I can keep you safe, or go home and hope that the people looking for you are slow. My heart hammered against my ribs. This is insane. This is actually insane. Yes. I should call the police. You could. He didn't sound worried. But then you'd have to explain why you're involved with me in the first place. I'm not involved with you. You jumped into my fake boyfriend story without permission. And you went along with it. His lips curved slightly. Rather enthusiastically, if I recall. You even looked at me like you wanted to. Don't finish that sentence, I warned, my face heating. We pulled into an underground garage that looked like it belonged in a spy movie. Sleek cars lined the walls, security cameras everywhere, and a private elevator that required both a key card and a fingerprint scan. This is either very impressive or very terrifying, I muttered. Can't it be both? The elevator ride to the top floor was silent except for the soft jazz music playing overhead, which felt inappropriately cheerful given the circumstances. I snuck glances at Doyun, trying to reconcile this dangerous man with the one who'd smoothly rescued me from my ex's engagement party. His penthouse was ridiculous. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Seoul, minimalist furniture that probably cost more than my yearly salary, and art on the walls that looked museum quality. Of course you live here, I said, stepping inside. Of course the mysterious maybe criminal has a penthouse that looks like it belongs in Architectural Digest. I'm not a criminal. Doyun shrugged off his jacket, and I tried very hard not to notice how his dress shirt fit across his shoulders. I'm a businessman. A businessman who has enemies that put bounties on people's heads. A very successful businessman. I laughed, slightly hysterical. This is my life now. I went to an engagement party and ended up in witness protection with a hot stranger. You think I'm hot? I think you're deflecting. I pointed at him accusingly. Explain. Now. All of it. Why did people look scared when they heard your name? What kind of business are you really in? And why the hell did you help me? Doyun poured himself a drink from a bar cart that probably cost more than my car. Whiskey. Information first, alcohol second. He smiled, and it transformed his face from dangerously handsome to absolutely devastating. I like you, Maya Chun. Great, I'm so glad my potential murder is entertaining for you. You're not going to be murdered. He settled onto the couch with the easy confidence of a man who controlled everything around him. My family has business interests in Seoul. Import-export, like I said, but also property development, investments, some tech companies. And the illegal part? Who said anything was illegal? The bounty on my head suggests something is illegal. Doyun sighed. There are families in Seoul who don't appreciate competition. When my family expanded into certain territories, we made enemies. These enemies occasionally try to send messages by targeting people close to us. The pieces clicked together in my head. You're in the mafia. That's a very Western term for a very Korean situation. Oh my God, you're in the Korean Mafia. I sat down heavily on the couch, my legs suddenly weak. I fake-dated a mafia boss. This is how I die. My tombstone is going to say, here lies Maya Chun, killed because she couldn't handle seeing her ex happy. You're not going to die. Doyun moved closer, and I was acutely aware of the heat radiating from his body. I won't let anything happen to you. Why? I looked up at him, genuinely confused. Why do you care? You don't know me. His hand came up, fingers brushing a strand of hair from my face in a gesture so gentle it made my breath catch. When I saw you standing there, champagne glass in hand, about to either cry or commit murder, I thought you were the most interesting person I'd seen in years. Interesting enough to risk your own people's anger by claiming me? Yes. That's insane. Yes. His thumb traced my jawline, and I forgot how to form coherent thoughts. But I've built my entire empire on insane decisions that somehow work out. I should have pulled away. I should have demanded he take me home. I should have done literally anything except lean into his touch like a cat seeking warmth. So what now? My voice came out breathier than intended. I just stay here? With you? While you handle the bounty situation? For a few days, yes. His eyes dropped to my lips. Unless you'd rather take your chances alone. That's not fair. You're using your stupidly attractive face to manipulate me. Is it working? Unfortunately. He laughed, a real laugh that crinkled the corners of his eyes and made him look younger, less dangerous. You're honest. I appreciate that. I'm terrified and babbling. There's a difference. You're also still here. His fingers tangled in my hair, tilting my face up toward his. You could have run in the garage. Could have called for help in the elevator. But you're here, looking at me like you're trying to decide if I'm worth the risk. Am I that obvious? You're that brave. His face was inches from mine now, close enough that I could see gold flecks in his dark eyes. Most people would be crying right now. You're analyzing me, planning your next move, probably calculating how to use this situation to your advantage. He wasn't wrong. Part of my brain was already thinking about how Marcus would react if he knew I was actually dating someone like Doyun. The other part was focused on how close Doyun's lips were to mine. I should tell you something, I whispered. What? I'm a terrible houseguest. I steal hoodies and eat all the good snacks. His laugh rumbled through his chest. I'll buy more hoodies. And I talk in my sleep. I'll listen. And He kissed me. It wasn't gentle or tentative. It was claiming, possessive, the kind of kiss that rewrote your entire understanding of what kissing could be. His hand tightened in my hair, his other arm wrapping around my waist, pulling me against him until there was no space between us. I melted into him, my hands fisting in his shirt, all rational thought evaporating like morning mist. He tasted like whiskey and danger and something uniquely him that made me want more. When we finally broke apart, both breathing hard, his forehead rested against mine. That was, I started. His phone buzzed. Then buzzed again. And again. Doyun pulled away, his expression darkening as he read the messages. Fuck. What? They found your apartment. My blood ran cold. What do you mean they found my apartment? He turned his phone toward me, and I saw a photo of my building's entrance. Men in dark suits. Waiting. Your ex-boyfriend, Doyun said carefully. What does he do for a living? He's in finance. Why? Because according to my sources, he just made a very large transaction to some very dangerous people. Doyun's jaw clenched. He paid them to scare you. To make you come back to him. The room spun. Marcus did this. He hired the same people who want to hurt me. Which means... Doyun met my eyes, and I saw real anger there for the first time. This just became very personal. Marcus hired people to terrorize me. I paced Doyun's living room like a caged animal, my heels clicking against the marble floor. Marcus. The man who cried during the notebook. The man who alphabetizes his spice rack. That Marcus hired actual gangsters to scare me into taking him back. Apparently your ex has more spine than his spice organization would suggest. Doyun was on his phone, speaking rapid Korean to someone. He switched back to me. My team is handling it. The men at your apartment won't touch anything. Your team. I laughed, slightly unhinged. Of course you have a team. Probably the same team that does your illegal imports and exports. Legal imports and exports. With a side of occasional murder? I don't murder people, Maya. He set his phone down, giving me his full attention. I acquire businesses that other people want. Sometimes those people get upset. That's very different from murder. Oh, well, as long as you're just ruining lives and not ending them, I feel so much better. I grabbed the whiskey he'd offered earlier and downed it in one gulp. It burned, but in a good way. This is insane. My ex-boyfriend is trying to terrorize me, I'm hiding in a mafia penthouse, and I just made out with a criminal. Businessman. Crime businessman. Doyun's lips twitched. You're cute when you're spiraling. I'm not spiraling, I'm processing. I poured another whiskey. There's a difference. Is there? Yes. Spiraling is crying and panicking. Processing is angry drinking and plotting revenge. I downed the second glass. I'm processing very effectively right now. He stood, moving toward me with that predatory grace that should have scared me but instead made my pulse quicken. And what revenge are you plotting? Well, Marcus wanted to scare me into coming back to him, right? Wanted to prove he still has power over me. I met Doyun's eyes, an idea forming. What if instead of hiding, we show him exactly what he's lost? I'm listening. We make it real. The fake relationship. The whiskey was making me bold, or maybe it was the adrenaline, or maybe it was the way Doyun was looking at me like I was the most fascinating puzzle he'd ever encountered. We date publicly, show up at all the places Marcus frequents, make him realize he didn't just lose me, he lost me to someone way out of his league. You want to fake date me? Doyun's expression was unreadable. The man who just told you he's in the Korean Mafia. You said that was a Western term for a Korean situation. It's still dangerous. So is going back to my apartment where Marcus's hired goons are waiting. I crossed my arms. At least this way, I get something out of it. I get to rub my gorgeous, successful, slightly terrifying boyfriend in Marcus's face until he realizes what an idiot he was. And what do I get out of this arrangement? Good question. What did a mafia boss who had everything possibly need from a broke graphic designer? You get. I thought frantically. A cover? Don't criminals always need respectable girlfriends to make them look legitimate? I'm not a criminal. Legal girlfriends then. You get arm candy at your fancy business events. Someone who can make small talk and laugh at bad jokes and look pretty in expensive dresses. I can hire escorts for that. Escorts don't come with authentic chemistry. I moved closer, emboldened by whiskey and desperation. That kiss? You can't fake that. People will believe we're real because they'll see how real it actually is. His eyes darkened. Is it real, Maya? My breath caught. I don't know what it is. But it's something. Something. He repeated the word like he was tasting it. Not very specific. Fine. It's attraction. Chemistry. Whatever you want to call it. I poked his chest, which was a mistake because it was very firm and very distracting. Don't pretend you don't feel it too. You kissed me like you wanted to devour me. I did want to devour you. His hand caught mine, holding it against his chest where I could feel his heart beating. I still do. Heat flooded through me. Then we have a deal? You haven't heard my terms yet. Terms. I tried to ignore how his thumb was tracing circles on my wrist. What terms? Doyun pulled me closer, until we were chest to chest, his free hand settling on my waist. If we do this, if we fake date publicly, it has to be convincing. That means couple things. Holding hands. Kissing. PDA that makes your ex want to punch walls. I can handle PDA. And you stay here. With me. His grip tightened slightly. I meant what I said about protecting you. Until we neutralize the threat Marcus created, you don't go anywhere alone. So I'm basically your prisoner? You're my girlfriend. He smiled. There's a difference. Is there? Girlfriends get better amenities. Access to my closet, my credit cards, my private chef. His lips brushed my ear. My bed. I shivered. Your bed. I only have one. He pulled back enough to meet my eyes. Unless you'd prefer the guest room? Yes, I should prefer the guest room. The safe, separate, appropriate guest room where I wouldn't be tempted to do extremely inadvisable things with a man I'd met 3 hours ago. The guest room is fine, I managed. Liar. But he stepped back, giving me space. Fine. Guest room it is. For now. For now. You'll change your mind. He said it with absolute certainty, like it was already decided. You're attracted to me, I'm attracted to you, and we're about to spend every day and night together pretending to be madly in love. The lines will blur. You're very confident. I'm very observant. He picked up his phone again. My assistant will bring clothes for you tomorrow. Designer, your size. Consider it part of the girlfriend package. How do you know my size? I'm very good at estimating measurements. The way he said it made my face heat. Right. Of course you are. There's one more term. His expression turned serious. When we're in public, you follow my lead. If I say we're leaving, we leave. If I tell you to stay close, you stay close. No arguments. Because of the danger? Because I need to know you're safe. Something fierce flashed in his eyes. I don't take responsibility for people lightly, Maya. If you agree to this, you're mine to protect. That means you trust me. I barely know you. Then get to know me. He extended his hand. We have time. I looked at his hand, then at his face. This was insane. All of it. Fake dating a mafia boss to make my ex jealous while hiding from hired thugs in a penthouse that probably had better security than the Blue House. But going back to my normal life meant facing Marcus's manipulation and Stephanie's pity. It meant being the pathetic ex-girlfriend who couldn't move on. This way, I got revenge, protection, and if I was honest with myself, the chance to explore whatever this electric thing was between Doyun and me. I shook his hand. Deal. But I have terms too. Oh. No lying. If something dangerous is happening, you tell me. I'm not some delicate flower who needs to be protected from the truth. Agreed. And no real feelings. I pulled my hand back. This is fake. Temporary. When Marcus backs off and the danger is gone, we go our separate ways. No drama, no mess. Something flickered across Doyun's face too quickly to read. No real feelings. Got it. I'm serious. I just got out of a relationship with someone who lied to me for months. I'm not jumping into something real with a man whose job description includes, occasionally pisses off dangerous people. Understood. He picked up his whiskey glass. To our mutually beneficial arrangement. I grabbed my glass and clinked it against his. To fake dating and real revenge. We drank, and I tried to ignore the voice in my head that whispered this was the worst, or best, decision I'd ever made. Doyun's phone buzzed again. He glanced at it, his jaw tightening. "What?" I asked. "Your ex just posted on social media." He turned the phone toward me. It was a photo of Marcus and Stephanie, both looking concerned. The caption read, "Worried about a friend who left our party with a stranger. Hope she's safe. Sometimes people make dangerous choices when they're hurting. #concerned #friendship. Rage flooded through me. That manipulative son of a... "Breathe," Doyun said calmly. "This is good." "How is this good?" "He's making me look like I'm in danger while he's the one who hired people to terrorize me." "It's good because now we respond." He pulled out his phone and handed it to me. "Post something. Show him exactly how fine you are." "I don't have any photos of us." Doyun pulled me against him, his arm around my waist, and held up his phone. "We do now." The photo he took was devastating. Him looking at the camera with that confident smirk, me tucked against his side looking flushed and happy, his penthouse's floor-to-ceiling windows showing Seoul's glittering skyline behind us. We looked like a power couple. Like we belonged together. "Caption?" he asked. I grinned wickedly and typed, "Never been safer. Or happier. Thanks for the concern though. 2 hearts #living my best life #upgrades. Petty," Doyun observed. "I approve." I hit post and watched the likes start rolling in immediately. Several from people at the party. 2 from mutual friends of Marcus and me. Then Marcus's number flashed on my phone. "A call." "Don't answer," Doyun said. "I wasn't planning to." I declined it and blocked the number. "Guess the fake relationship is officially public." "Guess so." Doyun pulled me closer, his hand sliding up my back. "Which means we should probably practice." "Practice what?" "Being convincing." His lips hovered over mine. "Can't have people thinking this isn't real." "Right. Practice. Very professional." My hands were already reaching for him. "Strictly business." "Strictly business," he agreed, and kissed me like he was trying to prove something. This time, when we broke apart, his phone didn't interrupt. Neither did mine. It was just us, the whiskey, and the dangerous game we'd both agreed to play. "Guest room is down the hall," Doyun said, his voice rough. "Second door on the left." "Right. Guest room. Good idea." Neither of us moved. "Maya." "Yes." "This is going to get complicated." I looked up at him, at this beautiful, dangerous man who'd crashed into my life and turned everything upside down. "I'm counting on it." I woke up to the smell of coffee and the horrifying realization that I'd agreed to fake date a Korean Mafia boss while drunk on whiskey and revenge. "Oh God," I groaned into the silk pillowcase that probably cost more than my monthly rent. "What have I done?" The guest room was ridiculous. King-sized bed, ensuite bathroom with a tub big enough to swim in, and a view of Seoul that made my apartment's brick wall vista look even more depressing in retrospect. My phone showed 47 notifications, most of them from the Instagram post last night. Marcus had commented, "We need to talk." I deleted it with savage satisfaction. Stephanie had DM'd me, "Maya, please call me. I'm worried about you." I blocked her too. My best friend Gina had sent 15 messages, escalating from "OMG who is he" to "If you don't call me right now I'm coming over" to "I googled him." "Maya, we need to talk." That one made my stomach drop. What had she found? I stumbled out of bed, still wearing last night's dress because I'd been too emotionally exhausted to find something else. The apartment was silent except for soft music coming from the kitchen. Doyun stood at the stove, wearing black slacks and a white dress shirt with the sleeves rolled up, cooking what smelled like Korean breakfast. He looked unfairly attractive for 7 in the morning. "You cook," I said, my voice still rough with sleep. He glanced over his shoulder, his eyes traveling down my disheveled form in a way that made me acutely aware I probably looked like a raccoon who'd lost a fight with a garbage can. "I cook. You look like you need coffee." "I need answers." I sat at the kitchen island, Accepting the coffee mug, he slid toward me. My best friend Googled you. What's she going to find? Probably that I'm the CEO of Kong Enterprises. That my family owns half the commercial real estate in Gangnam. That I'm 29, single, and worth approximately 2.3 billion won. He plated japchae and rolled eggs with practiced ease. That last part might be outdated. It's closer to 3 billion now. I choked on my coffee. Billion? With a B. Is there another way to say billion? You're a billionaire. I stared at him. I'm fake dating a billionaire. Who is also maybe in the mafia. Definitely in the mafia, he corrected, setting a plate in front of me. No point in maybe ing it at this point. This is insane. I design social media graphics for small businesses. My most exciting client is a cat cafe. I still have student loans. And now I'm living with someone who owns half of Gangnam. 3/8 of Gangnam, technically. That doesn't make it better. Doyun sat across from me, his own plate in hand. Eat. You'll feel more rational with food in you. He wasn't wrong. The japchae was incredible, perfectly seasoned, the vegetables still crisp, the noodles silky. I ate in silence, trying to process my new reality. So what's today's plan? I finally asked. Do I just hide here while you handle Marcus's hired goons? Already handled. He pulled out his phone and showed me a photo of 3 men being escorted into police cars. They had outstanding warrants. Anonymous tip led to their arrest this morning. You got them arrested. I made a phone call to someone who made a phone call. He shrugged like it was nothing. They're looking at 6 months minimum. Marcus's money can't help them now. And Marcus? We're going to pay him a visit. Doyun's smile was sharp. Together. As a couple. Show him exactly what kind of man you've upgraded to. My pulse quickened. You want to confront him? I want to make him understand that you're off limits. He reached across the table, his fingers brushing mine. And that any future attempts to intimidate or manipulate you will be dealt with personally. That sounds ominous. It's meant to. I should have been scared. Should have recognized this as the red flag it was, a powerful man casually discussing intimidation tactics over breakfast. Instead, I felt protected. Valued. Like someone finally had my back. When? I asked. This afternoon. I've already confirmed he'll be at his office. Doyun squeezed my hand. But first, shopping. You need clothes, and we need to be seen together. Let Seoul's social media gossips do some of our work for us. You want to go shopping? Together? Like a real couple. Like a fake couple who needs to look real. He stood, clearing our plates. My assistant already called ahead. Private shopping suite at Galleria, lunch at that new fusion place Marcus has been trying to get reservations at for months, then we visit his office. You really thought this through. I always think things through, Jagiya. He pulled me up from my seat, his hands on my waist. Now go shower. There's a dress in your bathroom, wear that. And Maya. Yes. His thumb traced my lower lip, sending electricity through my body. Try not to look at me like that in public unless you want me to forget this is fake. Like what? Like you're remembering how I taste. My face burned. I wasn't. Liar. He kissed my forehead, somehow more intimate than the passionate kisses from last night. 30 minutes. Don't keep me waiting. The dress he'd left for me was perfect. A soft cream wrap dress that hugged my curves without being too obvious, paired with nude heels that made my legs look incredible. I found makeup in the bathroom drawer, high-end brands I'd never been able to afford. When I emerged, Doyun was waiting by the door in a charcoal suit that should have been illegal. You clean up nice, I said, trying to sound casual. So do you. His eyes heated. Almost too nice. I might have to fight off every man in Gangnam. Please. I look normal. You look devastating. He offered his arm. Ready to make your ex-boyfriend deeply regret his life choices? I linked my arm through his, feeling the solid warmth of him. Born ready. The private shopping suite at Galleria was exactly as excessive as expected. Champagne, personal stylists, racks of designer clothes that made my credit card weep in my purse. Doyun sat on a velvet couch, utterly relaxed, while stylists brought outfit after outfit for me to try. He vetoed anything too conservative, approved anything that made me feel powerful, and watched me with an intensity that made my skin tingle. Try the black one, he said after I'd modeled 6 outfits. The black dress was dangerous, off-shoulder fitted, with a slit that went higher than anything I'd normally wear. This is too much, I protested. Try it. I did. And when I stepped out of the dressing room, Doyun's expression went dark with want. That one, he said, his voice rough. Definitely that one. It's too sexy for daytime. It's perfect for making your ex lose his mind. He stood, moving toward me. And for making every other man in Seoul jealous that you're mine. Fake mine. Right. Fake mine. His hands settled on my waist, and we both knew he was lying. We'll take everything she tried on. And that black dress? Add 3 more in different colors. The stylist's eyes went wide. All of them, Mr. Kang? All of them. He never looked away from me. My girlfriend deserves the best. 2 hours and approximately 10 million won later, we left Galleria with enough shopping bags to fill a small apartment. Photographers snapped pictures as we loaded the bags into Doyun's car. Him opening my door, his hand on my back, both of us laughing at something. We looked happy. We looked real. Lunch? Doyun asked, pulling into traffic. Are you trying to show off or is this just normal for you? Can't it be both? He glanced at me, amused. Besides, Marcus has been trying to get a table at Mingle's for 3 months. I made a call and got us in for today. Of course you did. Lunch was incredible. Innovative Korean fusion that melted on the tongue, served in a private dining room that overlooked the Han River. Doyun ordered in Korean, his voice authoritative and sure, and I watched him navigate the world he belonged to with easy confidence. You're staring, he said, catching me. I'm observing. There's a difference. And what are you observing? That you're scary good at this. The powerful businessman thing. The casual control. I sipped my wine. Is it real or is it an act? Does it matter? Yes. I set down my glass. Because I need to know who I'm really dealing with. The man who rescued me from an engagement party or the man who can get people arrested with a phone call. Doyun was quiet for a moment, his dark eyes studying me. They're the same person, Maya. I'm not a good man pretending to be bad or a bad man pretending to be good. I'm just complicated. Complicated how? I protect what's mine. I build empires. I make hard decisions that keep hundreds of people employed and safe. He leaned forward. And sometimes that means operating in gray areas that make people uncomfortable. Like hiring people to scare your competitors? Like ensuring my competitors understand that crossing certain lines has consequences. His jaw tightened. But I've never hurt someone who didn't hurt me first. I've never targeted innocent people. And I sure as hell would never hire thugs to terrorize a woman I claimed to love. The anger in his voice when he mentioned Marcus was real, burning just beneath the surface. He really pissed you off, I observed. He put you in danger. That's unforgivable. Doyun's hand found mine across the table. Whatever this is between us, fake or real or somewhere in between, you're under my protection now. And I take that seriously. My heart did something complicated in my chest. Why? Why do I take it seriously? Why do you care so much? We just met. He smiled, but it was different from his usual confident smirk, softer, more genuine. Because watching you stand up to your ex last night, champagne glass in hand, insulting him with perfect comedic timing while your world fell apart? That was the bravest thing I've seen in years. And brave people are rare, Maya. Worth protecting. I wasn't brave. I was drunk and angry. You were magnificent. His thumb traced circles on my palm. And when I saw you, I thought, there's someone who refuses to be broken. Someone who fights back. With lies and champagne. The best weapons available at the time. We finished lunch in comfortable silence, and I found myself relaxing into this strange new reality. Doyun was dangerous, yes, but he was also funny and attentive and genuinely seemed to care about my well-being. As we left the restaurant, his hand naturally found the small of my back. More cameras flashed. By tomorrow, all of Seoul would know I was dating Kang Doyun. Ready to visit Marcus? He asked as we drove toward the financial district. Ready to watch you terrify my ex-boyfriend? Absolutely. Doyun's laugh was low and pleased. I knew I liked you. We pulled up to Marcus's office building, and my stomach twisted with nerves and anticipation. Remember, Doyun said, killing the engine. You're with me. That makes you untouchable. Just follow my lead. And if Marcus tries something? Doyun's smile was predatory. Then he learns why people fear my name. We walked into the building hand in hand, looking like we owned the world. Marcus's receptionist went pale when she saw us. Mr. Kang, Ms. Chun, he's in a meeting. He'll make time, Doyun said pleasantly, walking past her desk. We found Marcus in his office, phone pressed to his ear. He looked up, saw us, and went white. I'll call you back, he said, hanging up. Doyun closed the door behind us with a soft click that sounded like a threat. Marcus, I said cheerfully. We need to talk about your little stunt last night. Marcus stood behind his desk like it could protect him from Doyun's presence, which was adorable considering Doyun radiated the kind of power that made expensive furniture irrelevant. Maya, I can explain, Marcus started. Oh, this should be good. I settled into one of his guest chairs, crossing my legs. Doyun remained standing behind me, one hand on my shoulder, protective and possessive. Please, explain why you hired thugs to wait outside my apartment. Marcus's eyes darted to Doyun, then back to me. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't insult her intelligence, Doyun said quietly. The temperature in the room seemed to drop 10 degrees. We have bank records, transfer receipts, text messages. Would you like me to read them aloud or would you prefer to stop lying? The color drained from Marcus's face. How did you? I'm very good at finding information. Doyun's hand tightened slightly on my shoulder. What I'm curious about is why. Why terrorize a woman you supposedly loved? What exactly was your plan, Marcus? I wanted her back. Marcus burst out, his composure cracking. She's mine. We were together for 3 years. She doesn't get to just move on. Especially not with someone like you. Someone like me? Doyun's voice was dangerously soft. Everyone knows what you are. What your family does. Marcus pointed an accusing finger. You're a criminal. Maya deserves better than. Better than you? I interrupted, standing up. The man who cheated on me with my best friend? Who announced his engagement at a party he tricked me into attending? Who then hired actual criminals to scare me? I laughed, sharp and bitter. Yeah, Marcus. I definitely deserve better than that. Watch out for part 2.